Hello everyone, my name is Gaius 2024 and welcome to another unboxing video, or updated unboxing video. If you guys don't know, oh, not my camera's on a tripod. If you guys don't know, I actually made a custom made, sorry about that, my Lego fell, or my Legos fell. Anyway, so if you guys don't know, I actually made a custom made wolf predator. And if you guys don't know, I actually told you that I actually used the body of my old City Hunter Predator. And this is what it is. This is what my custom wolf predator is. I added the plasma cannon from the movie. I added the shoulder pad to the right arm. I added the armor piece that's on the chest. I added the laser things that he uses in the movie. I removed the original tunic piece that was here and on the back, and I just swapped it out for the tunic piece for my NECA wolf predator, which didn't have much articulation, so I just exchanged some parts of it. I kept everything else the same, and then yeah, and I originally had a backpack here that I super glued in, but it came off, so I just left it the way it was to give it that like somewhat authentic look of it. And the look of this, of the body parts of the City Hunter Predator is a little updated for the newer version, or with the newer version, because there are some articulation, some points that are different. Like for this one, it has ball joints in the hand, and yeah, on the hand it mainly has a ball joint. So that's the only major difference. But for the other one, it has a lot of a different appearance to it. So now that I've shown you my wolf predator, let me just show you the packaging for my my new, well, somewhat new Predator 2 City Hunter Predator that my stepfather got me, which I'm really happy that he got me this, because I kind of was a little upset that I kind of had to make my own custom wolf predator with the body of my City Hunter Predator. I mean, I could have done it with my Jungle Hunter, but I couldn't find it, so I decided to improvise. So, but anyway, here's the packaging. You can see the City Hunter Predator with, let me just move the camera up, with the skull, his spear, standing over the building in, I think it's like San Francisco or something. I can't remember exactly because I haven't seen the movie in a while. But there's NECA, Real Toys, Predator 2 on the side. This is the same thing. On top, it says Alien, Predator 2. I'm gonna say Alien 2, but that's not the right name. There is a warning. There are small parts, so if you're under the age of 3, then I would not recommend getting this action figure. In the background, there's a series of skulls, as well as the top dome part of the Predator skull. And of course, if you open this up, you see the action figure right here with the skull, with the background of a city wall in an alleyway. And then right here, you see the background of where the final showdown was in the movie. And of course, this is where the figure stands, where the accessories go, where the exchangeable head, where the spear goes, and you know all that already. But on the back, I didn't really have a chance to do a video of this before, but here we are now. On the back, you can see Predator 2. There's 3 photo shoots of the figure itself, and the bio is right here. It says, "In the urban jungle of Los Angeles, the police force is at war with drug lords and gangs. Suddenly, one by one, the gang lords are killed by a mysterious, fierce adversary with almost supernatural powers, the Predator. Before long, the vicious creature begins to hunt the hunters. The police are now at war with a savage alien who has come to Earth to hunt humans for sport." Now, like I said before, this was the body that I used for my wolf predator, but I wanted to show you all this, because I don't remember exactly if I actually made a review on this. But anyway, that's the packaging. Put that on my bed. And now, before I show you the figure, let me just show you the accessories. So here are all the accessories. And these over here. Here are all the accessories, minus the one that's on the Predator itself. Now, let me show you everything one by one. So here's the spear extended out into its full form, into its full length. Of course, the top part. And let me just show you the comparison between my old one, which is kind of messed up, and then the new one. Now, obviously, they're pretty much like the same mold, but just different coloration. Like this one is an old one; it has like a darker bronzish type of tint to it. There's no weathering on the stick piece, whereas for this one, it has a lot of weathering onto here, and then there's weathering here, and then there's that same bronze color, but with a bit of a dirty, weathered, old, used type of look to it. So that's that. And of course, this one doesn't have that much weathering. It just has a little bit of like a hidden detail, shown type of feature to it. But that's my old one. And of course, here's my smaller one. Here's the retracted one, where it's closed and it's on its back. Much like the extended one, it has that weathered look to it, even when it's closed form. And you can see a lot of that bronze that's really like weathered out and has that silver strip of like weathered out paint. It goes along the center of the spear, and then of course this wouldn't be the City Hunter Predator without the Smart Disc. Now people have been now I know people might say, oh, well, that's the Shuriken. Well, no, the Shuriken is like a multi-bladed disc that is thrown. This is actually a Smart Disc where it actually has enough energy to where it actually comes back to the owner. So like in Alien vs. Predator, the movie, there was actually a shuriken that was thrown, and then it had enough momentum to come back because of its kinetic energy. But when it was thrown and hit against the wall, it didn't come back. Whereas for this one, when it gets hit, it's actually also used for close combat weapons, much like the shuriken as well. But let me show you just the comparison between that one and my older one. Now these are just to clarify. Pretty much everything from the weapons to the hands to the head, they're all just repainted and just a bit updated. Like you see here, this is painted to look weathered, whereas to the old one, it just looks bronze. Oh, hold on. Sorry, my alarm went off. Like I was saying before, this one just looks blank because it's old and they didn't really put much effort into it. But this one actually looks like they actually put a lot of detail into it, and it looks weathered even on this side. So there's the dropped it. So there's a comparison between the Smart Discs. So yeah. Set that one aside. And now let me just show you the hands. So these are the hands that are with the toy. Now you may notice that there is a peg here, whereas for the other ones, like for this hand example, for the older one, it actually has a hole. Now this is actually meant for the one that has the ball joint in the hand. Well, whereas this one has a pin where it actually has like a peg and it bends. See, it bends so that it actually gives it that actual feeling of it just moving. Because I think since they remolded this, they want to give it that feeling of it just like bending up and down instead of it like shifting from side to side. And of course, these hands are really, really painted, whereas the other one on this hand, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just see it like that. Whereas for the other one, it's not really. It's like it looks exactly like the movie. Like this one looks like a musty orange. I'm using the hand to show what the hand's like. The hand's like a musty orange, covered in black, like a tiger. Whereas this one, let me just try to be a little silly here. Whereas this one, it actually looks like it's from the movie. Like it still has that same like bony metal knuckles on the hands, but yeah. So I'm sorry, I had to do it. I just had to do it. It had to happen. But anyway, that's the hand. What the other major difference is that for the one that goes for the net gun, which I forgot to show you. This is the net gun. It's also repainted, but yeah, but all the accessories and all the heads are just repainted. So just a little side note. But as for the Smart Disc hand, it's kind of the same deal, except this one doesn't have that hinge piece where it just goes up and down, and it has a little wiggly into it. So I think this is supposed to be like a ball joint, but I don't know exactly. I can't confirm for sure. But yeah. And then this is the part that goes into the plasma cannon, so that where it shoots, you can make it seem like it's shooting, but where this is actually what it would look like. But I don't have the other one since I can't find it. And of course, this goes onto the wrist piece of the Predator's gauntlet with the detonation piece, and the other one is on the Predator. So yeah, this is where it. Oh, I dropped it. I already dropped it. Holy crap! Where did it go? Oh, there's. Okay, there it is. These small pieces are just easy to drop. And move my camera. Okay, so anyway, this is the part that goes onto the wrist gauntlet where the detonation thing is on. Has that peg that goes into the arm, and of course it's repainted, so that's that. And now for the heads. These are the exchangeable heads. Oh wait, no, this is the older one. The other one's on the other Predator. Sorry. This is the head that's repainted. They made the black parts of the eyes a little bit bigger, whereas the older one, this is the older one that I have, they actually made it a little bit smaller to make it look more like a reptile, whereas this one looks like he was just on steroids. I can't think of anything else to say. I mean, it looks like he's on steroids. But of course, this one has a darker shade of brown, this one has a lighter shade of brown, and the dreads, this one has a lighter shade of gold, whereas this one has like a musty bronze. And yeah, that's that. And of course, the masked variety. This is the old one, which I tried, but it didn't really work, so I decided to keep it like this. Yeah, this is the old one. You know, it's old. It has the dents. It has the exact detailing as it would in the movie. And of course, if you closely, there are tiny dots that show the visor piece. And of course the dreads are the same thing, with brown, gold, bronze, silver, and yeah. And of course the trophy of the Predator, a human skull. Let's see it. Okay, there we go. So there is the head or skull and spinal cord of the human, where the Predator rips it out of the human's body. And this is a repaint of the original one, whereas this one has not really much shading of detail. Let me show you the comparisons. And of course, yeah, this one actually looks more like it's twisted. I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, this one looks like it's twisted. This one has that same feature for some reason. And of course, this one has more black into it, more than it does have the red for the blood. Whereas this one has more of like the actual like cracks and crannies of the skull. And of course, the spine on this one is lighter, whereas this one is darker. Has that muddy, bloody look onto it. So those are the skulls. And that's all the accessories from for the newer version of the Predator. Now let's move this aside, and let's move this camera up. Zoom out. Let's move this out the way without having this being dropped. And now for everything that you guys all been waiting for. This is the newer, I would say like the version 2 City Hunter Predator. Let me just fix this up real quick. Let me just look this up. So this is the version 2. I'll say version 2 Predator. I would. The one thing that got messed up was this plasma cannon, because the original one, it was stuck in a certain position. Like, let me just do this off real quick. It was stuck in a certain position to where it was like this, and I tried fixing it to where it was like this, and this is the older one, so I was able to do it with, but it broke right here, so I decided to take this one since it was still secure, and I managed to actually slide it. I don't know if you can see right here, which is a giant gap in his armor, and of course you can just slide it in. I'm just gonna leave this off for now, so we can look at the Predator himself. So here is the newer model version of the helmet. It's a lot more smooth. There's no like dents into it like there is here, and there is a lot more like dots in the visor piece that are more noticeable than on this one. And then there's a lot more like chipping and smoothness that I really like. I mean, there's more gold on here than there is like a musty bronze on this one. And yeah, all in all, the highlights of like the muscles and the arms and the blades, they're all really nice. And of course, the same thing with these hands. They have that pin where it folds in, so that again makes it look like the Predator is actually like bending his wrists to where the blades come out, and the blades do come in and out like that. And right here is where the detonation thing occurs. Opens and closes. The original one on this one, on my older one, broke. Like the cover piece of this, it broke. So I'm gonna try not to do that same thing with this one, since I really like this one. And of course, this is the bone patch, I like to call it, the bone patch, pouch. I don't know. Here's the holder for the smart disc, and then this is the hole where the neck gun goes, and obviously the crotch pad, the butt pad, the back armor, which is repainted to be like a musty bronze, whereas this one, I don't know if you can tell, is just a dark gray. Yeah. And of course the repainted leggings, repainted hands, and that's pretty much that. Now let's move on to our articulation. So the articulation, this is on a pin and socket, to where it moves around, it tilts slightly, it looks up that much, looks down that much, which is pretty much like neutral. This does come off, I believe. Yeah, this is on a pin and socket, so you could just pop this off, take a new one, and you have to be really careful with the dreads, because these dreads do curve in, because they were in the packaging for so long. So I'll just be careful with that, and then just slide it in like that, and then you can just fix the dreads to where they just rest against his shoulders. And the articulation still occurs, it's just that when you move it side to side, it's a little rough, and it moves up and down a lot. But anyway, back to articulation. The arms move out that much. That goes out for both arms. There's a bicep swivel right here, double jointed elbows, a lower arm swivel. The wrist twists, but it doesn't. There is no tiltage. It does bend down. It bends up. The blades go in and out. Of course, the diaphragm. There is a swivel at the waist. The chest seems to be doing a tiltage, and then a somewhat of an ab crunch. The legs move out that much, but let me try with the other legs so that I don't break this piece. The legs move out that much. For some reason, they go forward that much. They go backward that much. He can do the full splits slightly, but I can't entirely tell because of the holster for the smart disc. see, the knee, there is a slight thigh swivel here, but that's because it's on a pin and socket, like the head. There is a double jointed knee. I'm trying to be careful here so that nothing gets too loose. The foot is on a ball joint, and it does move up that much, down that much. It has an ankle pivot, and there's that. Now for size comparisons, we'll head out the way. So let's bring in the Wolf Predator, more custom made Wolf Predator. There it is, right here, and just give me one moment. Alright, sorry for that. Sorry if it took a long time, but I'm back, and here is the size comparison between the original City Hunter Predator, now as my custom made Wolf Predator. If I can just get him to stand up with his knees. Alright, there we go. And with this one, they are roughly the same height. Of course, the major contrast you can see is that the chest and main muscles of the City Hunter of this new City Hunter Predator is a lot more defined and noticeable, other than this original mold of the body, where it's just really light, but the netting of the chest is doubled, because I'm guessing that they made a mistake on where they were doing it, and they didn't exactly have enough time to fix it. So this one actually seemed a little bit darker, but this one actually shows each part of the muscles. And of course the feet, they of course have the same particular type, but these are a little bit lighter than these. Let me zoom out. I'm sorry, zoomed out. Okay, so these are a little bit darker because it has that orange tint on the sides, and then these are lighter because they have like more of a white tannish type of look onto it. And of course the shins, they're practically the same coloration. The knees are the same coloration. The belts, of course, like I said before with the Wolf Predator, I changed this out, but it was originally the same thing as this, but I decided to change it out because the strap part of it broke. And of course, that's kind of it for the main size comparison between the original City Hunter Predator body, which is now used for my new custom-made Wolf Predator body, and the newer version 2 City Hunter Predator body. And that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course if you did like this video and this small minor upgraded review of the new and improved City Hunter Predator from Predator 2, then please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and tell me in the comments down below which version do you like better. Do you like the first version that I used for my Wolf Predator, or do you like the one that's new and improved with a newer detail and new articulation points? And of course, you know, I'll always be around if you guys want to check out my Instagram. It's Gauss2024. Check it out on Instagram. And yeah, that is it. If you guys, that's pretty much it. So there is the review on the Predator 2 City Hunter Predator. And of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.